Welcome to Business Innovators Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters sharing proven strategies to help you build a better life right now.
Welcome to Brilliant Business TV, conversations with leading experts in business. I am your host, Mark Stephen Pooler. We have a wonderful guest today, Andrea Ramirez. Andrea is an entrepreneur that supports entrepreneurs to reconnect to their spirituality. I love everything about spirituality, so I'm really looking forward to our conversation today. I just want to make an official shout out to our show sponsors, Dreamweaver Artist Ranch, our new show sponsor. So, hey, Dreamweaver Artist Ranch. We are streaming live on mspnewsglobal.com. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube. And we're also streaming through the E360 TV network under Fresh Takes, going out to Apple TV, Fire TV, Android TV, Roku, and many, many more. So let's bring in our incredible guest, Andrea. Andrea, welcome to Brilliance Business TV.
Thank you. Thank you. Nice to see you.
It's nice to see you as well. Andrea, I'm really looking forward to a conversation with you today. I'm very, very spiritual. I had a couple of spiritual awakenings when I was going through difficult times. I ended a relationship and that was quite traumatic. I had a spiritual awakening. It sent me on a whole new direction of my life. So I would just like to share a little bit about your past and your background that has led you into the world of spirituality.
Well, I've always been connected to what you could call the metaphysical world. As a child, I would have premonitory dreams and visions. I could hear things, and everybody told me that that was wrong and it was bad. Skip forward many, many years. I'm originally from Chile. I left Chile when I was 20, and I started working on cruise ships, which was a very big change. And because of this change of pace, I kind of disconnected from this core of spirituality that's always kept me protected through bullying and other difficult situations as a child. Then in 2005, I came to Barcelona and established my own company of luxury tourist apartments for rentals for tourists. And that was when I completely disconnected from spirituality. I became an entrepreneur, and suddenly everything was about the business. Everything was about being the best, go for it, making the best possible. And probably you can agree with me that when you are so focused in this race, this is when you leave yourself on the way. And this is when things happen. And this is what happened to me. I got very sick. I ended up in the hospital 3 days away from kidney failure. I was diagnosed an autoimmune disease. And as you can probably know, I don't know, the autoimmune diseases, doctors don't know what caused them, so they don't know the solution. And hence, big time spiritual awakening, big time reconnecting, big time going back to the origins, to the roots, to my original template, and start working on myself.
I hear you, Andrea, especially with the bullying side of things. I talk a lot about bullying because I was heavily bullied as well. When you say you would hear things, explain that a little bit to us more.
It's usually called clairaudience. So yes. I could be doing, for example, chores, or I could be studying or reading, and suddenly I literally hear a voice telling me something, like, go look for this, find out what this word means. And so I had to go and find out what those words meant and what the message was. And sometimes this led me to learn things like Reiki, discover what Reiki was, to learn things like Merkaba, to know what that was, and to learn it and to do it and to activate it. And even with relationships, to be in the right place at the right time. Sometimes I heard this voice saying, you should connect here, you should do that, send that email, connect with this person. And I'm thinking, but I don't know these people from anything. Why should I go there? Why should I do this? And then I'm like, you know what? I will do it. And it usually works for the better. So I trust right now. Yeah.
I don't hear things, but when something that's not good is going to happen, I've had really strong, powerful dreams that have kind of warned me. So, for instance, I remember I had a flat quite a few years ago, and I had this really scary dream that there was someone breaking into the flat, and I don't know why I got up out of the flat and left for the day. And when I went back, I found out the shop underneath us had been burgled, which was really strange because we was right above it. And that has happened many times where I've had like dreams that are like premonitions or warnings. So I understand that totally. And I totally agree with you, Andrea, about when you get back into normal life, or we can call it the matrix, whatever we want to call it, where we disconnect from spirituality. That's so easily to disconnect from spirituality at times. But I feel when you connect spirituality and entrepreneurship together, you are in a much better flow. You get better results because you're combining spirituality with entrepreneurship. And I know for certain that spirituality is a lot more accepted now in the business world. I would like to ask you, Andrea, tell us a little bit about your business and how you support your clients.
Well, because of this experience that I had, all the spiritual practice, how I knew it changed. And it focused on people like me, people that have businesses that have lost themselves along the way. Because the funny thing is, when we have our businesses, we start resurfacing all this trauma that we had as children. So all the overcompensating, all the need to be the best, all the need to, even when it comes to prosperity thinking, we do not believe that there are enough resources for everyone. So we need to grab everything for us. So spirituality, the way that I work with this is, first of all, we go back to the origin. And for me, the origin is the body. The body is the only place where you can find presence/present. Everybody talks about, oh, we have to be in the present. Let's breathe. Let's do meditation. But actually, nobody's listened to the body. The body is screaming for you to hear it. So that's the first point of connection that I do. When I do my personalized programs with entrepreneurs, we first go to the body. And then we go to the mind, to the subconscious, to the emotional world with different tools, with different techniques. And slowly but surely, with that realizing, putting our attention in what's happening, what's not working, that thing that we thought it's normal, but it really is not. That thing that we say, this is how it is. You know, this gives me energy. It's not giving you energy. It's draining energy from you. And like you said, when you make spirituality and entrepreneurship, you have purpose. Yes. And this is so important. We live so much out of focus when it comes to purpose. We think purpose is to have your company and become a multimillionaire or be a big multinational. But purpose in reality is to be present in your presence, in your power, knowing what you're doing with your eyes open each step of the way, and bring value to each action that you do, not only for yourself, but for your customers. They are the ones that are coming to you for you.
Yes, you mentioned a couple of great points there. One being present. It's so important to stay present in the present moment, because sometimes as humans, we either worry about things that have happened in the past that we can't change, or we are thinking too much about what we want for the future, or imagining things that could go wrong in the future. Whereas if you are in the present moment, just staying present, that is really, really important. And I know Eckhart Tolle talks a lot about being present. Also, you mentioned, the way I have interpreted it, abundance, having an abundance mindset rather than coming from scarcity and that we want everything. It's so important that we stay in an abundance mindset, because the world is abundant. If you look around, everything is in abundance. And I find being present and having an abundant mindset, that is definitely a sure way how to grow and move forwards into a positive future. Do you agree with me, Andrea?
Absolutely, 1000%. You've got to have this presence, be present in yourself, in your thoughts, in your actions. And a big part of the abundance mindset has to do with giving away from your energy through different things. I don't know, helping a friend, making that phone call, even cleaning up your environment, or getting yourself something nice, without going to the extremes, of course, but responsibly as well. If you know that there is so much energy, so much abundance that can flow through you, imagine the amount of energy, of abundance that will ripple back to you. Because that's how it works. This is like throwing a stone in a pond. You see all the ripples, they come back to you. That's how it works.
Yes, and also giving back abundance. So it's always good to give to charity, or it's good to help people, support people. It's important to give back as well, because it's not all about receiving, it is a flow. So I agree with you totally on that. Andrea, I have really enjoyed part one of Brilliance Business TV and our conversation. Please stay where you are. We're just going to a commercial break. Thank you for joining us for part one of Brilliance Business TV. We're having a conversation with Andrea Ramirez, and we're talking all about spirituality, entrepreneurship, being present. And have you got an abundant mindset? Stay tuned for part two.
Hello everybody, Cyberchuck 2.0 here. I'm so excited to be able to share my vision of Dreamweavers Artist Ranch. They say you can't choose your family. Not only am I saying you can choose your family, you get to thrive with your family here at Dreamweavers Artist Ranch. It's a place for like-minded individuals to come together to share experiences and gain experiences, not only through workshops, through performances, and through exhibits. This is a place where you can disconnect from the outside world and reconnect into a community of people that there is no judgment. There's only support. And this place is an amazing place to grow and to tap into your highest potential and to be able to show off all your talents. This is a place you can come and network and really thrive. I'm so excited for Dreamweavers Artist Ranch. This is a place where dreams actually come true. I love you all so very much. I'll talk to you all later. Peace.
Welcome back to Brilliance Business TV, conversations with leading experts in business. We are having a conversation with Andrea Ramirez, and our conversation has been so great today. We've been talking about spirituality and, most importantly, staying reconnected to our spirituality, combining it with our entrepreneurship and business. That is a recipe to succeed. Andrea, could you just share a few of the tools that you use to help you reconnect to spirituality, and also that help your clients too?
Well, first of all, like I said, I like to do sessions together with my clients and connect through the body first. So first we go through the body with somatic breath work. We get to feel how we are doing on our inside, of our biological inside. And once we have entered into this communion, so to speak, when we're both aligned, we go into the different tools and aspects that we would like to look into. One of the first tools I use is channeling. I am a channeler. Channeling is a form of mediumship, but also like these dreams that you had and this very strong intuition that you have, that's also a form of channeling. I just have it in a way that information comes to me and I can talk. And I like to record this. I like for my clients to have the recordings of this so they can go through it as many times as they need and make as many questions that they need. Another tool I use is tarot. The tarot cards. Yes, it's super interesting because right now there's many coaches and even psychologists that are using this tool because it has such powerful meaning with each archetype, with each little drawing number symbol that is inside in each card that helps to bring those subconscious messages out. It helps to get out of your mind and to look at your thoughts and what you're feeling right there in black and white. And this I also record, and we also go through this. I usually get lots of very good feedback from the tarot with tips that are obviously personalized to each person I'm reading the cards to. And then we start working with neuro-linguistic programming.
Yes. Also
other parts, what you could call hypnosis, but it's mostly about how you talk, how you express yourself, how you talk to yourself, what are the way your thoughts are working.
Yes.
And then we can even work on a personalized meditation that I can do for you according to what you need or what we need to work on. So those are like the main aspects. And then I also work with energy. I work with something called the new therapy and Reiki, which is something that I put on autopilot. So it doesn't matter. The person doesn't need to be absolutely present when I'm doing it. I send it over the distance and they receive it mostly when they sleep. So this leads to improved sleeping, more energy, more calmness. It kind of balances everything out. So I try to work on all areas in a subtle way that is as compassionate as it can be, because sometimes we are the ones that are not compassionate with ourselves first. And that's a terrible thing, because look around you, look at the TV, look at everything that's happening, TV shows, series, everything is about being tough and go for it and forget about it and let's knock this door down, let's do it. When in reality, what we need is like, do I really want to do this? Do I have to do it this way? Do I need to engage in this conversation? Do I really have to bring this ugly part of myself that makes me feel pumped afterwards? But in reality, the next day, you're going to be completely depleted of your energy. Yes. So it's all about these little changes.
You have made some great points, and we're so alike, Andrea. I love hypnosis. I do a lot of self-hypnosis. You touched on meditation. Good. Meditation has such an impact on the way that you feel, the way that you show up in the world, the way you think. But also you talked about NLP, the power of language. not only the language you use for others, but also self-talk. The way you talk to yourself is really, really important as well. These are really powerful tools that I use myself. So I absolutely love the work that you are doing. We have been through a global pandemic. I know it's been terrible for many. People have lost jobs. People have gone out of business. But there have been positives as well. People have reset. I know myself, I took time to not work so much. So now I take weekends to myself, because after the pandemic, I realised I'm just constantly focused on work. So now I go out with friends for lunch, or go out and have a few drinks, spend time with family, go and see my cousin and her children and spend time with them. So there have been a lot of positives. But for people out there who may be struggling at the moment, Andrea, maybe they've lost their job, maybe they are looking for work, maybe they have reconnected from spirituality because they are a bit angry with life at the moment for some of the negatives that have happened to them. Could you share 3 tips just to inspire people of how they can reconnect back to their spirituality?
Well, something that is very interesting is that the Chinese, let's say, writing for the word crisis also means opportunity. So when we're in a crisis, we lose sight of the opportunities. What we really need is to gather ourselves, mute everything around us, mute the world for a moment.
Yes.
Filter, what is it that you're thinking? What is it that you are talking to yourself? Are you saying that the world is a terrible place? Are you saying that there's no possibility of reinvention? That you're not good enough, that you cannot learn something else? We have to swap that. So the first tip I would say is start thinking, what is it that you would be doing if you could do anything in your life? What is it that you would enjoy the most doing if you had the possibility to do it? And hang on to that. Second thing, what is it that you love, really love doing as a child? That you forgot eating, you forgot drinking, sleeping. What is it that you spent dead hours doing? And how that connects with you and the life you're living today. And third, don't you ever think that you need to have a corporate job in order to be someone or become someone, or to be the most shark-like entrepreneur person in order to create abundance in your life? Because there are people that I know that are so rich. They are the poorest people I know. All they have is money. And they don't want to hear anything else.
Yes.
So what we want is for everything that we create in our life, that we do these steps with our eyes open, with our perception awakened, and that every new step that we're going to start doing after this crisis will make the most of it. Because then you're going to see that it's going to multiply. It's not going to be money that will come in and go out. It's going to be money that will come in, that you will recreate into something else, and will have results maybe in some other area of your life. The matrix is all about what I call steering the pot. Maybe I want to get this picture here, but I start steering the pot and working because I really want to have this picture. And then what I end up getting, it's a 55-inch latest technology TV connected to the latest art gallery in the Louvre or something. So we're always aiming for one thing that we think is the best for us. Steer the pot, go for it, learn something new, start working on yourself, work out, drink more water. Simple things.
Yes.
And then something else maybe will come to you that will be tenfold, 10 times better than what you were actually expecting, because that's how it works. Sometimes we are so focused in what we wish, we think we want to have, that car, that amount of money in the bank account, that house, that apartment. But sometimes life will take you to a completely different path, that at the end of that path, you're going to say, wow, this was so much better than I ever thought that I could create with my mind. So it's a little bit about being in this open state and allowing yourself lovingly without being too harsh on yourself, you know? We're all children inside.
You have shared some gold there, Andrea. Firstly, asking questions. What do I want? Really getting clear on actually what do I want? And that is kind of reconnecting to your purpose and your goals, but then connecting to your passions from when you were younger, to reconnect to all of those things. Like I mentioned, dancing, which I don't do a lot of anymore, is one of my passions. Really connecting back to those passions. That is absolute gold in itself, Andrea. And being brave to take those steps and listening to what you want. It's so important that we do follow our goals. But then what I'm taking as well is being in the flow, not being too focused on just it has to be that one thing, and just being in that flow and trusting that the universe will deliver. It always delivers. You just have to trust that process.
Exactly.
I have thoroughly enjoyed having a conversation with you today.
Well, thank you very much.
I would encourage everyone to follow Andrea on Instagram. Go to @Fortuna Living Spirit. That's @Fortuna Living Spirit. Once more, @Fortuna Living Spirit. Andrea, I'm going to give you the final words of the show, just in a few words for people out there struggling at the moment, who may need a few words of wisdom to uplift them, to send them into a more positive future, to help them to reconnect to their spirituality. Close the show and share a few words of wisdom.
Well, you know, we are running in the traumas that we have experienced as children because we had very little tools then. And the trauma gets stored in the body. So as an advice, I would also just tell you, dance in your house, jump, get all that thing stirred up, all that little dirt that has been there for years, and get it out of your system. That's one thing. You will see, you will feel much better after that. Second thing, the quality of your life depends on the quality of the questions you ask yourself.
Yes.
Right? So let's make the questions that matter for us personally, not how this is going to look to the outside, to my friends, to my neighbor, to my boss, to yourself. Make good quality questions. And try to find things that inspire you, even if it's just little things. I mean, I knew a person that loved ironing. I hate ironing, but that she loved that, and she had the best ideas while doing that. Do whatever inspires you, because that's when these little sparkles of wisdom will come to you, will give you little clues about what's the next step. And most of all, be gentle, loving, and caring with yourself. Not every thought you have is true. So that's also something very important to keep in mind. Not everything you think is real. Feel.
Yes.
Go to your heart.
You have got lots of wisdom, Andrea. Thank you so much for coming on to the Brilliance Business TV show. I've really enjoyed a conversation with you.
Well, thank you for having me. It was very nice meeting you.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you for everyone for watching Brilliance Business TV. Let me ask you a question. Are you doing what inspires you? Until next time, bye for now.
Thanks for listening to Business Innovators Radio. To hear all episodes featuring leading industry influencers and trendsetters, visit us online at businessinnovatorsradio.com today.